All right, are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Try to figure out what we're gonna do with this Georgia Southern team and all this other stuff. Here you go, big man. So gonna figure out what we're gonna do. I want to talk about this for a little bit. Can we be successful after the Fresno State loss? I want to make sure everything is good. Let me jump over here to the studio. Make sure the audio is fine. Are we good to go? Are we live? Let's see. I don't know, man. We might not be. There we go. There we go. All right, look, we're live there. All right, let's see. All right, so the audio is good there. Look on X. Make sure that's good, and we're gonna get into this because I got a few questions, and there's a lot to talk about because what happened with Fresno State was kind of like out of the blue. I didn't see that coming, and I was basically flabbergasted how bad the run game was. So I want to talk about what's going on with this team. Can they still be successful? Can we still make some things happen? We still got to go against USC. We still got the rest of the Sun Belt to play. Got a couple off conference games, and yeah, I just want to see how this plays out. So hopefully we get some people here want to talk, and I want to give my thoughts and opinions on this because I think we have a really big problem with the defense. Then we got a really big problem with the defense when it comes to Georgia Southern. They can't stop the run. They can't get some things going. It looks like the team actually looks like a carbon copy of last year. It really does, and I think that is a huge problem with the rest of the season because I'm looking at the schedule right now, and I mean we talked about this the other day when we was live, and I was looking like I don't know, maybe 8-4 is still attainable, but I'm not really sure at this point. I'm sitting here just shaking my head like I really don't know how to think about this. I really feel that Georgia Southern needs to clean up some things defensively. I think the offense is going to be okay. They look good for the most part, but the defense just could not stop anybody. They couldn't stop anybody, especially with the run game, and I think that's where we're going to have a lot of problems at. And I really feel that this is going to be a problem going forward. Now, do I feel that the season is lost altogether? No. I know some people that was actually on X, Twitter, saying that we may win 5 games, and it's hard to go against that based on what you've seen on Saturday. And I tend to think that we still can win 8 games. I want to believe that we can still win 8 games, but I'm 100% not feeling confident about that. Not feeling confident about that at all. So I really think that we're going to have to do some soul searching. I don't think the USC game is going to help matters. Maybe with the USC game, they could find a little bit more success because you figured out what you've done wrong in the last game, and that could possibly be something that you can fix. But I don't see them going into I don't see them going to Southern California and winning the game. I definitely don't see that now. I mean, if I saw a better output from Fresno, you would probably think that. But even though Missouri State, tried to do something against USC, you're looking at what we have, and it's like, you just be. I just don't know. I don't. HD say all is not lost and still think we can win 7 to 8 games. It wasn't a now that is a good that's one thing you can hang your hat on. It wasn't a conference loss, so that does help. It does help the fact that it wasn't a conference loss, so you still are in good shape to win the Sun Belt. And I think that's another thing that we could really look forward to um, you can really say, in all honesty, that we were probably supposed to supposed to lose these first two games. These two first games was probably considered as losses, but the real season starts once you get to Jacksonville State. The real season starts when you get past Jacksonville State and Maine. The real season actually starts in the Sun Belt, so that could be, that could still be the case. So I don't think that the season is over, but they got to be able to stop the run. I mean, that's a given. They're going to have to find a way to stop the run. You can't have these running backs that are, I ain't going to say no disrespect to Donaldson or any else of the other running backs that was at Fresno State. They look like they are sizable, big, and fast running backs. They do look really good, but we helped them make them look that good. We helped them look good. You know, this is the same team that, even though those running backs look big, fast, and strong, they got like 30 something yards on the ground, or probably 30 yards. I know Donaldson had 37 yards on the ground against Kansas. So this is not like one of those running backs that are sought after that's going to the NFL or anything, or one of the top running backs in the country. But when you do look at what we are capable of doing, or what we aren't capable of doing, any running back could go up against us and probably have success. And that's the main problem. I don't have any, I have little to no concerns about anything else that I saw in Saturday's game. Outside of the run defense, that front seven is exposed so badly. The Jacksonville State game is close, then we have a problem. Absolutely. I'm about to look at something really quick. I need to see something. I don't know what happened with the USC Missouri State game, but the leading rusher only had 80 yards, but that was on 4 carries. Bro averaged 20 yards a run. King Miller averaged 20 yards a run when it came to playing and when it came to running the ball. We can't have that. Georgia Southern absolutely cannot have that. That's insane. Trying to pull this up real quick. Give me a second. Yeah, they beat them 73-13. I want to look at the stats. Where are the stats? These are the game leaders. Okay, team stats. Where are the rest of the run? I want to, because that's what I really want to see, like the rest of the run. Okay, here we go. Perfect. All right, let me pull this up. So when going into the next game, you look at this right here over here. So they average 7.8 yards a run. This is the same thing that Fresno State did. They average 7.8 yards a run. So we got a serious problem. We got a serious problem when it comes to run. Because that's my main concern, is stopping the run. You're concerned about the run defense and the offense. We didn't score after 11 minutes and 30-something seconds in the second quarter. Yeah, I am a little concerned about the offense a little bit, but I think they're going to be fine. One thing, I don't have, long as JC French don't turn the ball over, I think the offense is going to move. But when you're constantly going back on the field after giving up so many yards rushing, and you don't get a chance to regroup or reload on offense, you're going to have that issue. But USC had 7.8 yards a carry. This is the same amount of yardage that Fresno State had. So now you're looking at a situation where that it could be a carbon copy of next week. But I still believe. I still believe that we're going to be okay. I do, like, low key. I still believe that we're going to be okay. I don't think the season is completely lost. I think they're going to be okay, but they're going to have to stop the run game. Last year we had the same issue game one when Ashton Genty came in. And I think for the most part we did okay for the rest of the season. I mean, look, Ashton Genty is he's basically a generational talent at running back. But when you turn around and do the same thing with Fresno State, now you're starting to wonder, like, all right, is a thing that is Donaldson that good, or is it just bad Georgia Southern? And when I looked at the game, when I went back and looked at the game, it looked like it was mostly bad. It was bad Georgia Southern. You should have saw like some of the gaps that was open for the running backs. It was pretty rough. It was really rough. And I'm still sitting here thinking 8-4 is the floor. I'm going to stand on that. I'm not going to change on that. Because I still believe that what you have is opportunities. Every home game is winnable. Actually, this schedule is very favorable for Georgia Southern. It's very favorable. So when you look at this team, the way it's set up, and the schedule they got in front of them, I think you have a recipe of some sort of success. And I know that's not popular right now. A lot of people are saying that Coach Clay Helton should be fired the DC. This person needs to go, that need to go. And I can't disagree with that. Because when you look at what Coach Clay Helton has done in the past 4 years, this one game is like a microcosm of everything that's happened in the last 3.5 to 4 years. It's just everything that we saw in the last 3-4 years happened in this game. So the not the cries, but the complaints are warranted. It's warranted. But I do think that at some point, I do believe that we will be able to have, like you said, we still can win 7-8 games. I believe that. I really do believe that you can win every single game after the SC game. I really believe that you can win every game after the Southern California game. You shouldn't have got that extension. I wouldn't have fired him after one game though. Still got 11 games. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think that he should get fired, but I understand what people are saying. I totally understand what people are saying. I think what they're saying is warranted. I wouldn't do it, but I think it's warranted. People have the right to feel that way, and they have a really good case to feel that way. It's not like they're saying it just because they dislike him. I mean, the production and the results aren't there. If you would have lost this game 28-14, people would shrug their shoulders. If you lose this game, 35-21, or even if you lost this game, even if it was if it was at least 14 points, if you'd lost the game by at least 14 points, a lot of people wouldn't have been upset. And it's not the fact that you lost 42-14. You lost this game in an embarrassing fashion where they really was one-dimensional and they just leaned on the run and they were successful at being one-dimensional. There's not too many teams that can beat you by being one-dimensional in football nowadays. That is not the norm. I mean, we as Georgia Southern fans, we've seen it, how you can beat a team one-dimensional, over a span of decades. We did it with the run game and with the triple option. But those days are, for the most part, over. If that happens, you have a personnel problem, whether it be on the sideline or with the players. And I kind of tend to lean towards the sideline because the coaches, they made no adjustments. They didn't put any extra players in the box. They didn't force EJ to pass the ball. And at the same time, like HD just said, we're probably stuck with him for 2 more years anyway. So we probably got until 2027, 2028 to deal with this. So if that's the case, somebody needs to get in his ear. Somebody needs to let him know, like, look, bro, you need to stop the run. This need to be the main thing. You got guys in the secondary that can ball. You can nearly leave those guys out there on an island. You can leave Chance Gamble on an island. Is that the name? I'm not good with names. I apologize. Let me pull up this roster to make sure, because I hate getting people names wrong. I really hate getting people names wrong. Yeah, Chance Gamble. I said that right. You can leave him out on an island. You may want to give a little bit of help to a couple other guys, but for the most part, your secondary is okay. You don't have to worry too much about your secondary. So you need to start trying to come up with some type of schemes to get into the backfield of these offenses. You have to. Because the last thing you want to see is a Jackson State running back running, through, Mack truck size holes in the offensive line. You don't want anybody from Maine to get over 100 something yards rushing. Because once that happens, if those guys start getting that type of production against our defense, you have no chance against JMU. You have no chance against App State. You don't have a chance against Georgia State. And Georgia State just got TJ Finley. Georgia State just got TJ Finley at quarterback. So that helps them a lot. I mean, the rest of the team is but that quarterback, it helps them a lot. That was a big pickup for them. So that's another thing you got to worry about. What's our record with Coach Helton for opening day and after a bye? I want to know. Let me look. I'm not good at pulling up stats like that. I'm not the best at looking up stats, so please forgive me. Well, after the first game, he did pretty good the first year, 2022. Yeah, I'm not a stat guy. I need to get better at that, though. I really do. Do we have a bye in 2022? I thought we did. Hmm. But he usually tends to bounce back after a bye, though. I noticed that. Because I know one time after a bye, we came right back and won a game easily. Captain Clack knows that stuff. Captain Clack is so good at stats. He's the stat guy. I'm just a commentator. I can get some stats up, but those type of stats, I just don't. Okay. I didn't even know that. Yeah, that's at USC. At USC was 3-0. I'm gonna pull this up again. I want y'all to see this in a second. This is what the AI says. Um, yeah, and the search results, it doesn't have it up right away. But Jesus Christ, he's extended to 2029. All right, let me show you this. I want to show you this. Yeah, they don't. I tried to pull it up. They don't have any. It says right here. There's no public available record after bye weeks at Georgia Southern. Though some plans has concern about the team performance following bye weeks under his tenure. While Helton's overall record is 20-19, well, not 20-20, including 3 bowl appearances. Detailed game by game statistics, performance at the bye weeks is not readily available in the provided search results. This is what I'm looking at right here. Some Georgia Southern fan has voiced concerns about the team's inconsistency and poor performance after bye weeks during Helton's tenure. So that tells you a lot right there. Yeah, the AI is all over the place, right? It is. It's all over the place. While Helton's overall record shows progress and consistency in reaching bowl games, the specific issue of post-bye week performance is a point of concern with some followers. Nah, I'm not looking at that. That's not the one I look at. I can go to Wikipedia and look at this real quick. So at Georgia Southern, 2022, 6-7, lost to the Camellia Bowl. 6-7, lost in Myrtle Beach. 8-5, lost in New Orleans. Man, he's just making a round, huh? He's just making a rounds. All right, so right here, first game, Morgan State beat Morgan State, beat Nebraska, started off 2-0. And then from there, this is where everything started to fall right here. This is where everything, honestly, all 4 of these games is where things fell apart. Everything basically fell apart after November 5th. Even with the double overtime win at App State, it still fell apart. It was a fun game to watch, but that it still wasn't that fun to play. It just wasn't. And I want to say even the Marshall game, I think it was the South Alabama game where they ran against us almost 200 yards against us in that South Alabama game. (2023) Everything fell apart in November again. Once again, everything fell apart in November, second time in a row. And at this point, you were 6-2. Look at this. You were 6-2 at this point. Everything just fell apart. 2024. This was actually a pretty good season. This was the problem right here. This was the game that hurt us the most. Even though you beat Coastal Carolina, you go and beat Appalachian State, but that game right there hurt you more than anything. You should have you literally should have left this season should have been off on a 5-game, maybe even 6-game winning streak because Old Dominion had no business beating us at 47-19. Yeah. I can live with losing against Boise. I can live with losing against Boise. I have no problem with that. You knew what you had against them. You went out there and got a win in Nevada. That was great. The Ole Miss game was a game that we knew that we wasn't going to be the best in. We knew that. But you literally took care of business the entire season. The Old Dominion game, okay, I'll give you that. You can't win them all. You got blown, it got embarrassed, okay. But this game on November 16th, that shouldn't have happened. That game should not have happened. So when you look at 2025, this is what you got here. You have a very good schedule here. You have a very good schedule. You look at this. This is a good schedule for. So, yeah, ODU was a Thursday night game. Yeah, it was a Thursday night game. I remember watching that game. Yeah, it was a Thursday night game. But when you look at this schedule, there's no reason. There's no reason for this team to not win at least the next 7, 8, 9 games. They should. But then again, you also got to think about November. Do we have that same issue where the team falls apart again? I agree. You should win at least 8 of these games. You should win every home game. You should beat Marshall because Marshall is not that good. And just to throw salt in the wound, I'm just gonna go out and say you should beat App because I don't think App's that good either. And I'm just saying App anyway because I don't like him. I will say App State because I don't like him. But when it comes to JMU, that's a head scratcher. JMU looks pretty good. When it comes to Arkansas State, I don't know much about them. So I'm just going to say I don't know much about them. But the rest of these teams, I don't think that. I'm going to be honest. You know what? I'm going to say this. That Southern Miss game might be a tough game. And I'm going to tell you why I think that may be a really tough game. You got Coach Huff and you got Braxton coming back to Paulson Stadium. We all know what happened to Marshall last year at Paulson Stadium. I'm almost certain that they haven't forgot. I'm almost certain they have not forgot what happened to them at Paulson Stadium last year. So that may be a tougher game than we may think it is. Those guys probably want to come in and smack us around after stealing that game from them last year. So I will say that October 9th game may be tougher than we may think it is. I think we'll be fine against Georgia State. Even though they did pick up TJ Finley, I don't think that's going to be enough. I think we'll be fine against Georgia State. Even though that's a rivalry game, anything can happen. I still think that we'll be fine. Southern Miss scares me more than Georgia State right now. I just don't see much out of Georgia State right now. Maybe by the time October comes, it may be a different story. And the only reason why I think it'd be a different story, if they give TJ Finley the ball and let him run the ball as a scrambling quarterback, that's going to be the problem. That's going to be the problem because we can't stop anybody running the ball. Now, this also relies on if Georgia State offensive line is any good. If the offensive line is somewhat decent, we have problems. I already know what we're getting with Braxton. Braxton's going to run. Braxton's going to throw. Braxton's going to do everything he can to make things happen. But there are opportunities there to get a turnover. Not so much out of TJ Finley. So I still believe that we could win all of our home games. But out of all the home games, I think Southern Miss is going to be the game that we're probably going to be worried about the most. Because those guys got revenge on their mind. Yeah, Dell is a great recruiter. I agree. I just don't think he got it all together just yet. Give him another year, then you're probably going to have problems against Georgia State. I just don't think they're there yet. That's the only thing. I just don't think that I don't think they're there yet. You give them another year, then you're probably looking at something serious. So I'm just concerned about I'm concerned about the the Southern Miss game. I'm worried about that and the JMU game. I'm pretty much writing off the SC game right now. I'm not worried about Southern Cal. Just get out of that game healthy. Don't get anybody hurt. Don't just try not to get any no serious injuries. Because once you have a serious injury to one of your top players, all bets are off. But what you should do is just try to get out of there without any injuries and look into Jacksonville State. Because I don't have any faith that the defense will stop what SC is doing. I think the offense may move the ball a little bit. I think Georgia Southern may put up maybe 20, maybe 30 points against USC. Just depends on how long they stay on the field. But at the same time, I think USC is probably going to put up maybe another 60 points. So just get out. I hate to say it like that, but yeah, but just get out of there. Get out of there healthy. And then your season really starts. Once you get out of this game on September 6th, try to go undefeated. Try to go undefeated, win the Sun Belt, bring home a Sun Belt title, get you a decent bowl game, and see how it goes. Right. Hopefully it's not a blowout. I would like, if I had more confidence in the coaching staff and the run defense, I would say this game would be like a 40. It'd be like a 42-28 game if we can stop the run, if the defense plays better. Because like I said, I think the offense is going to be fine. I think the offense is going to be able to make some moves if they're able to be on the field. I think they'll be able to put up some points. But I just think USC is honestly just a better team. So they'll probably double what we put out. You know, we put up 21, they put up 42. Put up 48, put up 28. I don't want them to put up 56, but but you know what I mean? Hopefully it's not one of these games where it looks like last week, where it's like 42-7 or 42-14. Or like how it was in the ODU game, 47-19. I would like to see Georgia Southern put up at least 28, at least 21 to 28 points. And I'll be like, okay, I get it. If Missouri State could put up 13, I think we could put up 28. I think that's fair. So all in all, I just feel like the team could still be successful. You get out of SC with no injuries. Just make sure nobody's hurt. Everybody stay healthy. Put up a good fight. Anything can happen when you get on the field. But I just don't see it right now. But if you are able to do that, that's absolutely great. If you pull that off after what you've done against Fresno State, if you're able to pull that off, that will be amazing. But even if you can't pull it off, get out of that game healthy and try to go undefeated for the rest of the season. And it's actually doable. I have my concerns against Southern Miss. I have my concerns against JMU and maybe even Georgia State. Maybe Georgia State. But I do feel like we are able to, we could run the table. I believe we could run the table if they can make adjustments on defense. I don't think the offense is a problem. Until I see otherwise. I think the offense actually did their job. If you go back and look at it, I'm going to pull up this game. Let me pull up this game. Let me pull up this game. You look at this game, you look at J.C. French. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That 1 interception was not on him. That interception was not his fault. We saw what happened there. You was able to run the ball fairly decent. You just couldn't stay on the field. Look at what these guys did over here. Just specifically these 2 guys right here. Look what I was able to do. That was your problem. EJ Warner threw 2 interceptions. J.C. French, like I said, J.C. French did okay. But he was put in a bad spot by the end of the second quarter. He was put in a real bad spot. Camden Brown did pretty good. You just didn't have the opportunities. Let me go up here. Let me see. Six to 10 on third down. Look at the rushing yards. This is your problem. Look at the time of possession. You're not going to win any games when the time of possession is like that. So I don't think the offense is they just need the ball in their hands. That's it. You get the ball. Look at the rushing attempts. 21 to 44. The passing attempts is skewed because he had to pass the ball more. But if you can't run the ball and you have to pass more, you're going to have more inopportunities to do anything. Right. Exactly. He only had 9 carries. But it goes back to what I said. When you're behind, when you're losing by this much, you had to pass the ball. That's why I say you need to get that under control to get the other team off the field so you can run your offense. You have to. You got to be able to run your offense. You can't run your offense when they got 17 minutes more than you on the field. When they got 17 minutes more than you on the field, you're not going to be able to run the ball. You're not going to be able to do anything. Because as soon as you get out there, you're going to have to try to pass to catch up. But I think they'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. I just think that when you go into the next game, you understand what you're getting into. But that Jacksonville State game, that main game, they can't run the ball like they can't run the ball against us like Fresno State did. Hold on, let me see something. I wonder when the weekly press conference is going to be up for Georgia Southern. I would like to hear what Coach Clay Helton has to say after this game. I really would like to see what he had to say. Like right now on the West Coast, it's like 8:30, so there's no telling when they're going to be able to actually get up and. When do they usually do the weekly press conference? When did they do the one last week? Then I'll know. Okay, so this was 4 days ago. I want to know what time they did this. Right, that's the reason why I got on live, honestly, because I want to know exactly what he has to say. Let me go on the I'll find out. That's the media Mondays. Oh geez. It's gonna be a minute. The press conference is at 12:30 last week. And that's 12:30 Eastern time. So I would will it be 4 o'clock our time or 3 o'clock our time? Because they're not putting it on ESPN Plus. Yeah, it's not going to be on ESPN Plus. So they did say that. So it says at 12:30. This was last week. At 12:30 Eastern time, Coach Clay Helton will talk to the media for their weekly press conference. So if it's at 12:30 Eastern, will it be like 4 o'clock or 3:30 their time? 3:30 our time. I mean, Jesus Christ. I thought it was going to be earlier today. I don't know. I'm just guessing because I really want to know what he has to say. It because I may want to live stream and give my thoughts and opinions on that. I may come back and do that, but this is what I really want to see. I wish the X account would tell us. I wish they would tell us when they're actually going to do it. Because I think he has a lot of. I think he needs to answer a lot right now. Yeah, some people are upset. Some people are actually upset that they're not televising this on ESPN Plus. Yeah, that's I get it. I get it. They should be able to broadcast this. This is pretty bad. It's a it's just a good look all. I mean, just a bad look all the way around when it comes to Georgia Southern because this team should be better than this. They should be better than this. I'm gonna look. I know somebody who may have the insight to know. Let me look. All right, let's see. Hold on. I'm looking. No, it doesn't say. Nobody says when it'll be. Okay, somebody said right here, usual time, but in Pacific, they'll post it once it's done. Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. So if it's the same time but Pacific, the press conference is probably going to be a little bit later. So what I'll do, I'm probably going to come back and I'm going to respond to this press conference because I really want to know what he has to say. Now I really want to know what he has to say. So I'm probably going to come back and respond or react to this press conference. I really want to know what he has to say, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions then on that because no, I didn't see it. I didn't see it either. I was on here live at like one something in the morning, and I didn't even see that. No, I haven't been able to find it either. Maybe Frank Sokowski got it on his X account. I'm gonna look and see if maybe Frank got it. But that's something we can react to right now. Let me look. Yeah, I don't like. Frank got some. Frank got some talk from the kids, from the players. I don't really want to talk about that. I don't want. I don't want to hear the. I don't want to hear the response from the kids. I mean, it's not necessarily their fault. All right, hold on. It might be coming out of one ear for some reason because I hear it out of one ear. Or maybe it's just me with my volume. See if y'all can hear this.
We all are. I know that's not how they want to start. Arizona State was probably disappointed last week. It's not what happens to you early in the season. It's how you respond and how you react and how you go from game one to game two. These are tough kids. You know, they've been through adversity and we've been in this situation before. I know they'll handle it well. We got a lot to fix between game one and game two, obviously, but I know they'll respond.
Yeah, no doubt. You got a lot to fix and you got there's a lot to learn, but I mean, it's just a bunch of I don't know, man. It's just really disappointing because you hype this game, you hype this team up to be better than this, and you kind of put them in a position to not do as well as they should have. Even if the talent level isn't there, let's say if Fresno State is up here and we as Georgia Southern down here, it still doesn't make any excuses not to make any adjustments to try to stop what they were doing. it seemed like they made nobody on the sideline say, "Hey, let's put a couple of more guys in the box. Let's just straight out blitz when we know they're going to run." They didn't do any of that. This is why I don't like to talk. I don't like to hear, like, professional players is different. College kids, college players. I mean, some of them are not kids, but I just don't like to see their reaction because it's a little different when you're in college because you are, for the most part, relying on the coach to put you in a position to succeed in college. I don't care if you're playing for Georgia, Ohio State, you're playing for Notre Dame, you're playing for any of these Power Four conferences. You have talent, but you're still relying on the coaches to put you in that position. And the NFL is a little different. So I don't like to hear from them asking about what they think because they're still trying to go through the motions, even as 5th and 6th year seniors. Right, exactly. It's not the player's fault. So I don't never like to point the finger at players in college when things go wrong because your talent is going to get you where you need to be when it comes to college ball. But the mental game and learning how to put players in position to be successful, that's on the coaches. Yeah, exactly. I agree. It's not the player's fault. We want to see Josh. Yeah, I want to see Josh ask some questions too. Hopefully we'll get that later on today. Hold on. There we go. That's what I want to see. Well, Josh is on his X account. Josh hasn't posted anything since Josh was in Georgia. He was in Athens, I mean. Yeah, he was in Athens. So I don't know if we're going to get any questions from Josh. Because Josh was in Athens, Georgia. So this is what Josh was spending his time. This is August 30th. He was in Athens. So I don't know if we're going to get anything from him as of yet. But that's unfortunate. But I will say this. I'm gonna come back once they do that press conference. I'm going to respond to that because I need to know what he's going to say. So let me go to YouTube channel just to see. Okay, so it ain't nothing on the YouTube channel either. So I'm just gonna leave it right there, man. I'm gonna come back once this press conference come up because I definitely want to respond to this press conference. Absolutely, I want to see what's going on. Until then, I'm probably gonna be on my other channel. I'm gonna be probably playing some video games on my other channel. Probably go live over there. And once this come up, then I'll jump over to the other. I'll jump back over here, and we'll talk about it. I think he's gonna get away this time. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I'll definitely be back later because I like I said, I really want to know what he has to say. All right, HD, I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody else who's on X, everybody who's on YouTube. I will be back later. And I see y'all on the next one. All right, y'all, I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Peace.